I was so proud of our fans, our band, our cheerleaders, our dance team, everybody that was over there at Kyle Field. It was very impressive. I thought they all represented Lamar University well and really showcased us, and it was just a very proud moment to be a part of that. And I thought it was a great effort on everyone's part. I thought we really took a step as a program. We looked like a Division I program. We represented Beaumont and Lamar University well. We got to do a better job on the field, but I was just very impressed with the way we handled ourselves over there as a university, and it made me proud, and I appreciate everybody's support.
So you go from A&M against Texas College now. I mean, how do you get your players' mindset back in the order of, focusing on a team that honestly you should handle?
Well, first of all, I didn't address Texas College by name leaving A&M, but what I told them, our season begins again when we get home. What we have now in front of us is we have 3 weeks to prepare for Sam Houston. We would like to be 3-1, but that's not the biggest concern of the team. The biggest concern is improving as a team. We're doing some things well. We're doing some things we can't do. We have some mistakes in the kicking game that have to be corrected, and corrected for good. We got to look at players. We got to look at scheme. We got to look at coaching. We got to do a much better job in the kicking game. And believe it or not, we've spent more time on the kicking game than we ever have. It's not showing on the field, and it's frustrating, but we will continue to work. We're taking stock as to where we are right now and where we feel like we need to be before we play Sam Houston, and we got to get there. We got 3 weeks of work to do, and so that's kind of our mindset. That being said, Texas College is a division below us. I wouldn't say handle, but I would like to think that if we play well and they play well, we got a very good chance to win the game, and that's got to be our goal. We're not deep enough, good enough to take anybody lightly and win, and that's not knocking our team at all, but it happens every week. There's upsets in football all the way up and down, and our job, and my job, is to make sure that doesn't happen here.
What? You've talked a little bit today about the mistakes, the miscues that you guys made, but for having such a young defense and having replaced so many guys, right now Lamar leads the nation in terms of fumbles recovered, and they're up there in terms of fumbles forced. Talk a little bit about how, at least they are an opportunistic defense, and they're creating opportunities for your offense.
Well, go back to the A&M game early on. We had some opportunities to put some points on the board and kind of turn it into a little bit of a shootout, and we didn't do that. But they're playing hard, and when you play hard, you usually get turnovers. You have a lot of people around the ball, and we're going to continue to do that, and we'll keep improving with our schemes and what we're doing as the season goes on. And we got a great attitude on defense. We got good team speed on defense, and I think by year's end we will be a good defensive force because young players, it's almost like, well, anything. Young players, you'll see it from week to week. You'll see them progress. You'll see them improve, and as long as they don't get down, and they're not, and they keep playing, we keep coaching, and we will, they'll get better. And I think when we really need them in conference play, they'll be there. I do want to talk about Texas College for a minute. Number one, the head coach is brand new. He got the job just weeks before the season started. It was a very tough situation to come in to be a brand new head coach. With Coach Cumby leaving to take the athletic director's job, the job came open in July, and he actually got it just days before he had to start camp. And Rodney Blacksher played for us in arena football, a heck of a player at Texas Tech, and a heck of a receiver, and a great guy. And he's going to do a great job at Texas College. And the longer he's there, you'll see him perform and do better with that program. I think Adrian Dorsey is coaching with him as well, a former player here, and he's from the Tyler area, and he's coming back, and we want to welcome him back right. A lot of our coaches that are here coached him, and we're looking forward to seeing him. But, they're going to come in here kind of like we went into A&M with nothing to lose, and they'll play hard, and they'll play all night. They got 4 players from this area that's coming home and playing in front of their home crowd, and they'll be excited about doing that. So we understand where we are, we understand where we want to get to, and at the same time, we can't overlook this opponent anytime. I told our players this. I think I've told y'all this before. It's kind of what I was taught. Anytime you expect something to be easy, you make it hard. On the flip side of that, anytime you go into something difficult and you give it everything you got, you have an opportunity to make it easy. It doesn't always work out that way. But I think you asked earlier in the week, you can't get off to a bad start. And I said, well, sure you can. Joking around, but it is really true. You really can't dictate how things are going to go. You can prepare how you want them to go, but a lot of times the other team doesn't cooperate with you. So we have to be ready for everything. We have to be ready to play a tough 60-minute football game every week, and then we'll see how the game dictates. But we cannot be a yo-yo and go in up and down, those kind of things against anyone. Or you get to learn one of those life lessons, and I'm at the age I don't need to learn that lesson anymore, and I want to teach it to our players, by pointing to other teams that made that mistake, so we won't make it. So this is an opponent on paper. You think we should win, and that's fine to think that way as long as you prepare that way, and that's what we got to make sure we do.
Also, could you give your thoughts on the Southland teams early on? You got 3 to 4 teams ranked in the top 25. You got McNeese going up there and pushing Nebraska to the limit. And what are your thoughts about the Southland early on?
Well, again, it's going to be a tough year. All those teams that are ranked obviously got to play one another, and then there's going to be a team or two, and we're going to be one of them's going to get in the mix. It's going to be one of those years. I'd look for us to put 3 teams in the playoffs again. It's just a time where being good or being above average is not going to get it done. I think, and I'm not knocking any other teams in the league, but you'll see our second and third place teams could go other places and do very well in conference play. And so this is going to be a tough year, and then you got 3 new teams coming in, and you got no idea what they're going to be like or what they can or cannot do, and it's just going to make for a wild year.